Dovahkiin, Dragonborn, a mortal blessed with dragon's blood who commands the tides of history. The future of Skyrim is decided by this chosen one. Whether the current empire maintains power or falls to the will of the Stormcloak Rebellion lies with you, the Dragonborn. This control over history's most crucial moments is second only to your Thu'um, a power which channels the souls of dragons into a chicken-obliterating shout. Sorry, vegans. It stands to say that the Dragonborn is the chosen one of Skyrim lore who is prophesied to defeat Alduin the World Eater with their Thu'um. To give some context, Skyrim is the land of the Nords, a blonde Viking-like people who long ago cast Alduin into the currents of time using an Elder Scroll. Why would they want to do this, you ask? Well, it turns out this dragon guy called the World Eater has earned himself that title through some serious dickery. Dragon dickery. For long ago, this Dick obliterated the last world to begin our current one, where he ruled over man, elves, and dragons, treating mankind as a lesser species until we fought back and, as stated, cast him to be lost in time with the help of this kind dragon, Paarthurnax. A lot of information, I know, but bear with me. You, the Dovahkiin, are undoubtedly the chosen hero to halt the obliteration of the mortal plane by Alduin. Yet your claim to fame is the Shout, a talent that several others possess. Near the beginning of Skyrim, you're summoned to the throat of the world by the Greybeards who learn to shout through practice and meditation rather than birthright. And Ulfric Stormcloak, leader of the Stormcloak Rebellion, can shout by that same practice. Why not him to slay Alduin? Perhaps there is something less tangible about the Dragonborn that warrants a prophecy etched into ancient stone at the summit of a mountain. Something unique to the product of immortal dragon's blood flowing through mortal flesh that makes up the story you never knew. Let's kick things off with the Dovahkiin's place in the world of Skyrim. Dovahkiin is a combination of two dragon language words, Dova meaning dragon, and Kiin meaning child or born. You're a captured wanderer who starts off with nothing on your way to death, when the World Eater interrupts the decapitation party. In the chaos, you escape the fortress and peer onto Skyrim for the first time. The options are limitless. Among them, you may venture to Whiterun and inform the Jarl of the shit that just went down. You sort of make friends with the Imperials by doing this, but you have the option to betray them further along in your journey when you arrive at Windhelm, the Stormcloak stronghold of which Ulfric Stormcloak is the Jarl. To give some background, the Imperials are a puppet empire of the Thalmor, aka Elves, and that means the worship of Talos is outlawed. Talos is the hero god of Skyrim, who during his life long past conquered all of Tamriel, established his kingdom, and ascended to divinity amongst the gods. A pretty badass fellow who the Stormcloaks passionately worship, but the Thalmor despise the idea of a human being divine. And so when they defeated Skyrim's armies in a past great war, they demanded Talos' worship be stopped. The Imperials, who were and still are the governing body of Skyrim, obliged for fear of death. At this crossroads in history comes you. Your decision to join the Stormcloaks or Imperials will decide the future of Skyrim. The victor, as it turns out, is determined not by blades and armies, but rather by the Dragonborn's hand in battle. You command heavy power in mortal affairs. The fate of entire empires is yours to decide. Yet that intangible quality that defines you is elusive. It's powerful enough to trump armies and even other masters of the voice, but somehow it remains obscured and unmentioned. To examine this mystery further, let's leave the arena of war and politics and enter the world of dragons. It's a scary world, full of teeth and weird glowing symbols that make up Dovazul, the dragon language. It is incomprehensible to normal men, but you feel right at home shooting the shit with these things. You can thank the blood and soul of a dragon within your mortal body for that. But before you engage in a cricket of words with the Dove over a smashing cup of tea, you must first butcher one's face off and take its soul. After completing a mission assigned to you by Whiterun's court wizard, a Dova appears on the outskirts of Whiterun to wreak destruction on the populace. The battle rages at the foot of a watchtower with arrows cutting the air. Spells and melee can come into play as well, until the dragon falls from the sky, giving up his soul for the guards to witness in a brilliant spectacle of colors. That's right, bitches! The legends are true! Your granddaddy was right! Foos. Yep, I heard it too, guys. That was the Greybeards. They've summoned you to High Hrothgar upon feeling your Thuum. As I said earlier, the Greybeards are monks who train in the way of the voice. They help you harness your connection with the Dove and guide you towards your destiny. After a treacherous climb up the 7,000 steps to the summit of the mountain, you're taught more shouts by these masters of the voice. You also learn of their leader, Paarthurnax, the kind dragon who helped humanity so long ago. But he sits at the super-duper tippy-top of High Hrothgar behind a constant, blinding ice storm. It blocks your path to him until you learn the Clear Skies shout. Only then may you pass through the frigid wind and converse with the wise immortal Dova. He tells of humanity's battle with Alduin, and how the ancient Nords were able to use Dragonrend, the first shout crafted entirely by humans. Its power came not from the language of dragons, but rather from the tongue of mortals. I'll let Paarthurnax explain the meaning of that.
It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran, incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove.
In the power of Dragonrend lies a profound idea, a human projecting their innate understanding of mortality into the mind of a dragon. This temporary crumbling of immortality cripples any dragon who feels it, forcing them to the ground in a moment of weakness. Paarthurnax elaborates on the Dove's everlasting life and how it comes from their deep connection with time. Dragons are immortal because they are attuned to the flow of time itself, where humans are mortal because they are separated from this flow. The Dragonborn walks this line between life that fades away and the everlasting. But the ancient Nords who cast Alduin through time so long ago were purely mortal, and their attacks were all for naught. Thus, Paarthurnax tells you these three great heroes brought with them an Elder Scroll, a fragment of creation that shattered time so that Alduin may fall through it. The World Eater was thus thrown adrift, hurtling forward through the ages, stopping only briefly on his way to the Dovahkiin's era to start a dope band in the 90s as an outlet for his musical talents. But we're getting a little off topic here. The point I'm trying to make is that even though those Nordic heroes of ancient times were masters of the voice who could rip away a dragon's power, if only for an instant, they were limited by their mortality. Despite their vigorous blows to the grounded Dova, a last resort was necessary because he simply would not die. Insert the Dragonborn, who bridges the gap between mortality and immortality. This is why it must be you to defeat the God of Destruction. This is why it must be you to decide the fate of empires. With the soul of a dragon and body of normal flesh, you have the power to bring death to the everlasting. You have the power to rally troops to your banner because you have the recognizable complexion of a mortal with the power of the gods. People do not fear you, rather they respect you, for even Paarthurnax, a benevolent immortal, was not fully trusted by the Nords. But you, the Dovahkiin, are well understood in your killable body, able to gain trust because you are powerful but not insurmountable. This idea may seem abstract, but before you dismiss it as pseudo-hipster English major bullshit, I invite you to look at the pages of Skyrim's history, or rather Oblivion's history, the game which came before Skyrim back in good old 2006. In it you learn of the Septim Dynasty, a bloodline of great rulers who claimed the throne by their dragonborn heritage. Each Septim ruler is a descendant of Akatosh, the dragon god of time, said to be the original deity in the era before existence. The Septims have channeled the essence of Akatosh for 22 generations. Their last heir is Martin Septim, an emperor who comes to power during the Oblivion Crisis. He is about to bridge that gap between the realm of the mortal people of Cyrodiil and the immortal Daedra of Oblivion. In a shocking display of spoilers, the gates of hell open to unleash the Daedric armies across the countryside. Entire cities are obliterated by hordes of these demonic creatures as they tear through Cyrodiil. Among them is Mehrunes Dagon, a god who really hit it big on the tall genes. Martin Septim, however, fulfills his destiny to channel the avatar of Akatosh and defeat Dagon in a battle of Gargantuas. This prophesized event seals the gates of Oblivion in exchange for Martin's life. Turns out you have a lot in common with this guy named Martin. Let's go down the checklist. He commands high authority in mortal affairs, he is the only mortal of his time who can triumph over an immortal, and of course, he is Dragonborn. Therefore, the Dragonborn have a history of intangible power that comes from their existence on the border between finite and eternal life. While this may seem insignificant at first, this crucial idea gives you, the Dovahkiin, incredible influence over both worldly affairs and the fate of gods. It defines who you are and writes you into prophecies with outcomes that will echo throughout future generations. By bridging the gap between our world and that of the Timeless, you draw power from both sides and save the mortal plane because of it. In deciding the outcome of the Stormcloak Imperial War and bringing death to the eternal god of destruction, the Dovahkiin reveals themselves to be the medium amidst these two very different worlds. From that comes the source of your power. And that's the story you never knew. Don't miss. Coming soon.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. We're really excited to announce that we're starting an entirely new project.
We've just created the official Treeskull Patreon page. You guys can really help us out by clicking us to watch the video on how it all works, and by helping us take Treeskull to a whole new level.
As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love you guys. Don't forget to click on that Patreon link, and we'll see you next time.
Fuck yes! Nailed it, bitch! Nailed it! Fucking nailed it!